There he is, Ngannou back in the building. Junior Dos Santos, main event time, Friday, September 8th. Fabricio Werdum, this time a bare knuckle MMA rematch. JDS, always fired up to talk to you. First and foremost, brother, you've been showing a physique lately that makes you look like you're 20 years old. What the heck's the secret here, sir?
Yeah, I'm feeling great actually. I'm putting a great work, and right now that we're not going through USADA, it's been great because we can, like, I can take my pre-workouts, I can take my burning fat, I can take all the supplements that I couldn't before, So it's been great. I'm feeling great. I'm eating good, and I've always take care of my health. I was always in great shape, and things like that. But right now that we are able to not having problems using our vitamins, our supplements, everything, it's a different thing, and then you can see the result. Here you have a virgin body right here, buddy. So whenever you give it something good, for it, it's gonna react right away.
Well, I gotta ask you, you look like $1 million. How do you feel entering this one under a new banner, of course, the Gamebred bare knuckle MMA banner, but you look like $1 million. How do you feel?
I feel great, and I'm putting a great work at ATT, and I feel great about this fight as well. I think it's the most it's the fight that makes more sense for me to be having right now, and the date is a great date. I'm very excited with everything that Gamebred promotions are doing. They're very serious guys, and that's crazy. But as soon as I moved to America back in the day, 2015, as soon as I was training there on one of the days with George. And then George says, "Oh, man, one day you're going to fight for me on my promotion." And I said, "Man, that's going to be a pleasure. Let's see. I hope it happens." But you see the power of the words. Today, yes. I'm fighting on his promotion, and I'm very impressed with everything they're doing. The guys are working hard to make it happen in a fashion way.
You've always been an optimist, a believer, very positive. I remember many interviews with you saying, "Hey, I may be coming off a loss, but I am the truth. I'm made out of truth. Everything about me is the truth." Right now, when you've had a couple losses together, how do you keep reminding yourself of how good you are so that you stay confident, you stay focused?
Well, I'm good. It's a fact. I don't need to convince myself or nothing. I see that. And why am I still fighting? Because I'm good. Every time I go back to the gym, I put in a good work and a hard work against some tough guys, some tough partners that I have over there. And Ben, I'm always training good and putting a good work. So I see it. Man, if I'm doing good at the gym, I can, even better than I did in the past. I can still go there and put in a good show and win fights. But of course, on the physical matter, I feel great, and there's my biggest problem was in the psychological matter, because there's always some extra pressure, extra things for you to go through.
Sure.
And that's kind of heavy sometimes, especially me. I'm kind of I have a lot of anxiety, so it's kind of hard for me to deal with the things. The little things become huge sometimes, and that's bad. But today I'm able, through all these experiences, and I've been talking to my friends, and a friend that is helping me, Rodo Castano, he's helped me a lot with my just talking with me. The talking is so important, and I'm doing a great training camp on all the matters, like physically and mentally. And I can tell you, maybe I'm gonna be able to say for sure after the fight. But maybe this fight is going to be the first fight in my whole life, in my whole career, that I fought only my opponent. I didn't fight myself before the fight. And I'm feeling like that, for you to imagine.
I think it's really important that you are sharing that, and that, you know, more athletes focus not just on mental health, but the whole idea of how much of it is mental, and that it's not just believing in yourself. You've got to have everything clear so you can focus on the job at hand. Happy to hear that you're as physically and mentally ready for this one. It's going to air live on YouTube on the Gamebred Bare Knuckle MMA channel Friday, September 8th from Jacksonville. So look, a little bit different in that this is a bare knuckle MMA fight. How much does that change anything for you in terms of preparing and the night of the fight?
Not much. The training is kind of the same. We cannot spar without gloves, of course. We would hurt ourselves. But I'm doing what's possible to do without the gloves, you know, like bare knuckle, the hitting pads, hitting the heavy bag, things like that, you know. And but I'm doing a great training camp, and I see that we gotta be more cautious about just throwing punches, because you have the danger of also breaking your hand.
Sure.
The gloves are there to protect our hands. It's not to protect the guy's face, you know. So so that's the only matter. But I feel like I feel good, you know, when I'm putting my boxing skills to work, you know. So I have boxing as my main thing always in my career, you know. But of course, I have always to get prepared for wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and Muay Thai as well. So I'm not. I was not always like in 100% with my boxing skills, you know. But I do a good job, and I think it's more than enough to put in a great show and knock Fabricio Werdum out.
Now, I understand having no gloves. Certainly you have to be careful of injuries to your hands, but do you believe that'll make you a more dangerous puncher against Werdum, not having gloves?
Yes, that's also, you know, that's also, you know, the thing is, for me and for him, actually, you know, even the punches that he connect, he's going to be able to connect on me if he can. He opens open cuts on our faces. Sure. No gloves, you know, knuckles on your face, it's going to open cuts. So it's going to be a little bit more bloodier fight, you know. And but there is nothing bad on that, you know. I'm not afraid of blood, you know. Just a little bit of more blood, that's fine, you know. I think that's why people are enjoying to see this bare knuckle thing, because it looks more like a real fight or something like that. Whatever they want to think about this, you know, people are enjoying, and we are there to give them what they like to see.
All right. Before your professional fighting career, were you an experienced bare knuckle fighter in real life? I mean, unfortunately, sometimes fights happen. Do you have a history of knocking people out with the bare hands when you need to?
No, never. Actually, you know, I was always a nice guy. You know, I was always avoiding fights. You know, and much more now. You know, there is no reason for somebody, you know, I see no reason. No, it's the biggest stupid thing in the whole world is for someone to hit the other one.
Yeah.
For in the street or something like that. You know, it's so stupid that I cannot even understand that thing. Even back in the day, you know, when I was a teenager or a kid or something like that, all the fights that I had as a kid, they beat me up. Like in school or something like that. The only time I was able to punch one guy was was when I was teenager. You know, the guy was kind of looking for trouble, and I'm kind of defending myself. I punched him, you know, and I knocked him out. So that was the only time I did that, you know. And it was nice. It wasn't nice. It was something, like I said, stupid.
Yeah.
But it really happened. And but I never had any experience like fighting bare knuckle. It's going to be the first one.
For sure. One thing you do have experience with is fighting against Fabricio Werdum, but a long time ago, UFC 90, 2008, in your octagon debut. Take me back there. What do you remember about the first time when you knocked out Fabricio Werdum?
I remember everything. You know, that's probably between that fight and the title fight. I struggle to see which is the most important fight of my career.
Wow.
And I still think I still think this is the first fight is the most important one, because that was my welcome to the biggest show in the whole world, you know, of MMA. And at that point, if you remember, Fabricio Werdum was about to fight for the title with Randy Couture, but Randy Couture couldn't fight. So then they put it someone else for him, like just to I felt like for him to beat the guy up, and then that
Sure.
you know. But I kind of put it a different aspect on their plans, and I knocked him out, and that was amazing, you know. But I remember I was very nervous. Werdum was saying a lot of stupid things as well, you know. He was I understand today. I kind of understand the strategy, you know. He was trying to make me more nervous. Actually, it worked. I was very nervous, you know. But it doesn't matter what, you know. I'm a warrior. I'm gonna always push forward. Doesn't matter what happens, you know. I'll try my best. I'll try everything what I have, you know, to succeed, to get what I want. And
Sure.
this time is not going to be different. And I feel like in a much different way, because I'm not going to be as nervous as I was that time.
Well, we know Werdum is an incredible grappler, one of the greatest heavyweights in history, 46 years old now. Now, look, heavyweights age later. Look at the shape you're in and how good you look. At 46, though, do you expect Werdum to be as slippery, as dangerous as ever, especially if this fight goes to the ground?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that's his goal. That's gonna be his goal. You know, to take me down and use his grappling skills against me. You know, and to kind of try to submit me or something like that. You know, I think, you know, on the MMA history for heavyweights, you know, he's probably the best jiu-jitsu in the heavyweight division, you know. And everything what he did, you know, on his career shows us that, you know, he got really good with his Muay Thai skills as well. But I think his main goal for this fight is to take me down and do that. But like I told you, I'm looking for that knockout. Yes. But if he take me down, I'm going to submit him, and I'll show him that you know, everything is possible in a fight. I'm ready. I'm training jiu-jitsu. I'm training wrestling, everything, you know, what's possible. I know he's great on that thing, but fight is fight, my friend. You know, everything is possible to happen.
Well, let me ask you the difference with the bare knuckle. We talked about the difference in punching. What about the difference in grappling? Is it easier or harder to attempt submissions wearing bare hands?
Much easier, in my opinion, or much easier. You can work much better with your hands, you know, work with the grips better, everything, you know. It should, I see, you know, this fight between me and him, it's kind of the same as it would be with the gloves. And there's
Sure.
no much difference, you know, because like I said, I cannot just keep throwing punch like crazy. And he's gonna be able to try to grapple as much as he can, you know, and use his grips, use his hands, you know, to hold me on the positions or something like that. So there is no difference. This fight on this with us, you know, with me and Fabricio Werdum, it's gonna be the same as it would be with the gloves.
All right, let's talk about what's at stake here. This is another big night for you. You'll be in the main event. I'm sure you're being paid well, and it's a great opportunity. But when Francis Ngannou left the UFC and signed with the PFL, they start talking about who could he fight. I heard your name a lot in those conversations. So I want to ask you, are you auditioning with this fight for a chance at fighting Francis Ngannou in the PFL?
Not really. Right now, I'm part of Gamebred. I'm happy to be here with them. I'm very excited with all the plans that we have in front of us, all the opportunities that we have in front of us, including boxing, which was my main goal. Right now, was my main thing was to get a boxing fight. We were working on that for a certain time, but it's kind of hard, man. Looks like this big boxing guys, they don't want to fight someone like me.
Right.
I don't know why, it seems like it's not intrusive for them or something like that. The truth is they want easy fights. I'm a boxing guy in the MMA world. I've never been in 100% in shape to a boxing fight because I couldn't. I have to train wrestling, I have to train jiu-jitsu, I have to train Muay Thai together, like as I did right now. So it kind of hold me back my potential to show all my boxing skills. But I also said that I would fight Francis Ngannou on the boxing, but they didn't happen. I'm happy for what he's doing. He's doing a great fight against Tyson Fury right now. I'll be rooting for him, but I see very, very little chances for him to win this fight. He's fighting a guy who's a specialist on that thing, who's made it for that. He's huge, he's heavy, but he moves so well, and he has a huge reach as well. And Ngannou has power. That's it. I don't see a boxing skills on him. Boxing is a completely different world. We can see now this MMA guys trying to fight boxing. It's not. They think it's the same. I'm just go there and fight. It's not like that. Boxing is completely different. I'm a boxing guy, and maybe that's why they don't want to fight me. Maybe, but let's stay on the Ngannou and Tyson Fury. And I see that the biggest chances for Ngannou is the beginning of the fight. Yeah. He gotta go be looking for that knockout as soon as possible, because if he allows to the rounds go, it's gonna be harder for him. We know that he gets tired pretty soon, and because of too much muscle, of course, and his boxing skills. Let's see what he's able to do. But he's fighting someone who does a great job inside the ring, And so I see, man, very little chances for him. I'll be rooting for him. Don't understand me wrong. I want him to win. I think it's important. He has been a great advocate for us MMA fighters, But we gotta be sincere. The chances are almost very little.
So are you looking, when you talk about wanting a big boxing fight, are you looking to box another mixed martial artist, or are you looking for the biggest fight you can get?
No, I want to fight a boxing guy, Of course, like, I don't know, Anthony Joshua, the bronze bomber. Let's do that. I'm looking for this guys, because I'm a boxing guy. If I put in I never did this, to put in a training camp only for boxing.
Right.
The wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, the Muay Thai is always there holding me back. That's why I cannot show my 100% potential for boxing, If I'm able to do that and I feel good, like even when I go back to the gym, man, if it's only boxing, I can go like 20 rounds. It's something natural for me. Yeah. So maybe that's why these guys are avoiding me. They just want the easy work, the easy money, like they say, but let's see. Now, that's why I like to be part of Gamebred promotions now, because they have this bare knuckle thing, but they also have boxing. Yeah. So in a soon future, I hope to have this opportunity happening.
Hope to see it for you. A couple quick ones on the way out here. First off, Francis leaving the UFC. Every time Dana White talks about him, he talks negative. Francis has been through a lot. How is your relationship with Dana in the UFC after exiting?
Well, very professional. Dana is a very professional guy. But of course, as nice as it can be. It's a professional thing right there. But every time I was able to talk with him, he was there to listen, you know, and that's the thing. You know, as soon as you're able to communicate with him well, you know, things happen in a good way, you know. And right now, I think Francis Ngannou, he decided for the different path, you know, like just like not agreeing with some things and throwing rocks to the other side, things like that, you know.
Sure.
So it's hard to talk about others' relationship, you know. But my relationship with Dana was always fine, you know. Even when I was out of the UFC, you know, back in the day, I was able to talk with him even when I was out, and everything was fine, you know. And MMA. MMA is the MMA that we know today because of him, you know, because guys, someone like him, like you or not, that's the truth. You know, Dana did a big difference and brought the sport to a different level. You know, of course, like I told you, it's business. You have to be able to be in a good position and position to take advantage of your position in this game, in this business. You know, if you're not able to communicate well, things will not go in the good direction.
No, that makes sense. I agree with you. Let me close with this, a fun one. And of course, we can't wait to see you Friday, September 8th, the rematch with Fabricio Werdum under the Gamebred Bare Knuckle MMA banner, Jacksonville, Florida, and free on YouTube. So the fans need to check it out. You've been in the cage with every big hitting legend of all time. I'm talking about Shane Carwin, Francis Ngannou, Derek Lewis, Roy Nelson. I mean, I could keep naming them. Stipe Miocic, Cain Velasquez. Who is the biggest puncher you feel you ever faced off with?
Well, yeah, that's a interesting question, actually. You know, and for me, it was Stipe. Stipe hits very hard. You know, I was able to come back from after getting hit by him. You know, when I was hit by Francis Ngannou and things like that was in the year, I didn't come back. So I didn't have the feeling. But what I could feel in my whole career, you know, Stipe was the big knockout power for me, you know. Man, on our first fight, on the second round, he hits me with a cross right in the face, man. That was so hard. I couldn't see anything. And I couldn't hear. I was listening just, but I was cautious. I was cautious. I was listening that noise, and I couldn't see. I was seeing kind of black. And even in the fight, you can see I'm doing this with the hand, looking for him. You know, and luckily, he came closer to me, and then I hugged him. And I was hugging him, and like, wait a little, stay here for a little. Come on. And then I was able to recover and keep fighting, and I won the fight. But yeah, that I remember that punch was probably the hardest punch I felt in my career.
Wow. I mean, you fought Mark Hunt too. You fought everybody in history. You keep fighting them. Friday, September 8th, second time with Fabricio Werdum. Junior, great talking to you. I wish you the best of luck. Show those guns one more time. You earned it.
Let's go, bro.
I'm talking about. Go get them September 8th. We'll be watching, sir.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you.